then let's speak a little bit about the omega-3 fatty acids, which are also part of treatments for Parkinson in especially carrier oils or fatty oils. Omega-3 fatty acids protect the brain against Parkinson's disease, according to a study by University Laval researchers. The researchers observed that when mice were fed an omega-3 rich diet, they seemed immune to the effect of MPTP, a toxic compound that causes the same damage to the brain as Parkinson's. This demonstrates both the importance of diet on the brain's fatty acid compositions and the brain's natural inclination for omega-3 fatty acids. Now, what is important is, of course, the DHA type of omega-3, and here's a quote: "Our results suggest that the DHA deficiency is a risk factor for evaluating omega-3 potential for preventing and treating this disease in humans." Now, vegan sources of DHA, of course, are the fatty oils, and the omega-3 fatty acid docosahexaenonic acid, or DHA for short, is pretty important when it comes to keeping our heart and our brain healthy. This is in a research which states that. You can find DHA in fish oil supplements and in various wild-caught fish dishes, but also, of course, in carrier oils or algae oil, for example. Yeah? If you are vegan, however, you want to look at sources like perilla oil, flaxseed oil, and, as I said, algae oil. There are also vegan sources of omega-3 fatty acids, but these sources will require that your body converts them to DHA and the other types of fatty acid it needs in order to serve its biological purposes. Another carrier oil with omega oils or omega fatty acids is perilla oil. Perilla is most of all used in Korean dishes. Basically, it's the oil pressed from the seeds of the perilla plant and has an especially nutty taste. Now, certain population studies have shown that a diet high in omega-3 fatty acids can help to prevent heart health concerns. But the omega-3 fatty acid in perilla can actually be converted through the body's metabolic pathway, and then it becomes DHA, and it can actually help increase the omega-3 levels in our blood. In some cases, this can really help prevent coronary issues and even help to decrease blood clottings. Now, some words on the microalgae or algae oil. It turns out that microalgae is the only source of docosahexaenoic acid acceptable to vegans. Not only can algae oil provide DHA, but because it doesn't come from fish, it's a pretty good vegetarian option. Another benefit of microalgae is that there's no risk of ocean-borne contaminants. Another omega carrier is the famous flaxseed. Flaxseed oil is a pretty good source of polyunsaturated fatty acids, but it doesn't necessarily contain DHA. It too would have to be converted, but flaxseed oil has been known to help with inflammation. And flaxseed oil will give you a little boost of omega-3s, but only in the form of alpha-linolenic acid. It's more of a backup than a substitute for omega-3s like in fish and fish oil, because of the conversion issue. This is also from the Dr. Budwig protocol, a famous research scientist also on cancer and omega oils. Since Dr. Budwig in her research on cancer mentioned strengthening of the brain, the omega oils are strongly advisable also in case of Parkinson's. Here's a quote from her: "A Swede has proved that no brain function can take place without threefold unsaturated fats. Without any doubt, every function of the brain, and this has been scientifically proved, needs the very easy activation effect of threefold unsaturated fats. The same applies to nerve functions and for regeneration with the muscle after strenuous muscle activity in the so-called oxidative recovery phase during sleep. This process requires the highly unsaturated, particularly electron-rich fatty acids like in flaxseed oil. So when I wish to help a very sick patient, I must first give the most optimal oil I have. My opinion is flaxseed oil. Now another oil which also falls into this category is the famous black cumin or Nigella sativa oil. This oil was found to possess a therapeutic effect against Parkinson's disease in animal PD models. The recently studied virtue of black cumin oil is its positive effect on neurological and psychiatric systems. The pharmacological actions and the therapeutic potential pertaining to the central nervous system show particularly effects on psychiatric and neurological dysfunction. In many animal experiments and a few clinical trials, black cumin seed oil was found to be effective in the control of pain, of fever, epilepsy, Parkinson's, anxiety, depression, and so on. Now, positive effects of black cumin in pharmacological categories, we can see that it has anticonvulsant effects from epilepsy, anti-Parkinson's effects, neuroprotective effects, antidepressive effects, anti-anxiety effects, effects on improving learning and memory, effects on drug tolerance and drug dependence, effects on encephalitis, toxoplasmosis, and malaria, which both affect also the brain. Here a quote: "Can Parkinson's and multiple sclerosis be healed? These and other neurological diseases can be stopped, put into remission with a raw vegan diet, fasting, and detox methods. The mind-body medicine renaissance coincides with exciting new discoveries about how our brains age and how we may keep our brains young." Here's another quote: "In addition, certain foods and medicinal herbs may also help alleviate other symptoms or complications due to Parkinson's." The majority of natural treatments for Parkinson's are dietary, of course, and nutritional rather than purely medicinal. And they include, of course, vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin E, B6, B12, selenium, the coenzyme Q10, amino acid supplements that boost the body's production of glutathione, and all the oils from the allium species, for example, onion and garlic, and even peppermint oil, which contains mint sulfide or yarrow. Yarrow brings sulfur into play, says Rudolf Steiner, fixing other minerals into soluble forms and correcting weakness of the astral body. An overall healthy diet may help delay or alleviate the symptoms of Parkinson's. Diet low in starch, low in sugar and dairy, but also rich in foods that contain natural antioxidants, such as berries and beans and others. Yeah? Now also, in terms of food supplements, pomegranate is also considered helpful for Parkinson's. Here's a quote: "This little powerhouse can also help lower blood pressure and cholesterol, reduce the risk of heart disease, ward off the flu, perfect for battling the transitional weather as we head into spring, and help combat prostate cancer and diabetes." Furthermore, recent studies in America have also suggested that pomegranates, more specifically the compound in them called punicalagin, may be able to help stem the flow of diseases such as Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and others. In Australia alone, there are more than 5.5% sufferers of dementia, and the discovery of a potential new treatment is an exciting perspective. Also, what is interesting is green tea. In addition to aiding weight loss, fighting cancer, and helping with graceful aging, green tea shows signs of being able to help against Parkinson's disease. Research by Dr. Baulu Sao especially indicates green tea's polyphenols, which protect dopamine neurons. Now here are a few potentials how to increase dopamine. High potency, high quality multivitamins and mineral supplements can be natural mood enhancers and so help to increase the dopamine production in the brain. Here quote: "Certain mood boosting vitamins, especially zinc, vitamin B6 and folate, are necessary for dopamine synthesis and neurotransmission. These nutrients are often depleted in individuals due to medications, inadequate diets, excessive stress, and toxic environmental exposures, compromising the ability to properly synthesize neurotransmitters like dopamine. Another quote here: in addition to taking dopamine supplements, there are also other ways to naturally increase dopamine. Do you know which foods are naturally dopamine boosters and which foods can deplete dopamine? Working towards a goal can also increase dopamine. By repeating small steps to reach a goal, you can rewire the dopamine pathways in your brain, ultimately teaching your brain to give you a dopamine surge every time you take that small little step. You can also increase dopamine by developing an active, regular stress reduction practice. And here are some supplements that increase dopamine. Just you hear: green tea, rosemary, St. John's wort, ginkgo, curcuma, kava, ginseng, resveratrol, oregano, clary sage, bacopa or brahmi in India, Muconia prurens, it is a velvet bean, fish oil, as we have seen, magnesium, seaweed, bananas, chocolate, almonds, avocados, eggs, watermelon, milk, yogurt, cranberries, blueberries, grapes, tarragon, etc. So many interesting elements of the plant kingdom, which are all interesting for increasing the dopamine production. A few words on the gut and the gut inflammation, which affects the brain, and there was also the Parkinson's. Quote, most doctors would not agree that the problem of disease is in the stomach. Ayurvedically speaking, it's different. All diseases come from the stomach, Ayurveda says. Robert Rogers, PhD, on Parkinson's recovery. The fundamental mechanism that underlies such seemingly disparate issues as autism, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, and various other neurodegenerative conditions is the process of inflammation. And this is what current science is strongly supporting. But it now looks as if this process, inflammation, may actually begin in the gut and subsequently affect the brain as a downstream mechanism. And that also has to do with glutathione. Now, what is glutathione? It's a very simple molecule that may well be the most important molecule you need to stay healthy and prevent disease. It is a key for preventing aging, cancer, heart disease, dementia, and other chronic diseases. It is also essential for treating everything from autism to Alzheimer's disease to cancer and Parkinson's. Here a quote, glutathione is produced naturally in the body. It is called the master antioxidant because it can regenerate itself in the liver after each fill-up of free radicals and go back to work. Free radicals are often the byproduct of normal cellular metabolic oxidation and toxic overload. They can lead to autoimmune diseases, several types of cancer, and even heart attacks. Glutathione is also essential for maintaining healthy cellular mitochondria. It is notable that damaged or malfunctioning cellular mitochondria are part of the cancer process. During this process, healthy cells become cancer cells when they revert to a primitive form of respiration that uses glucose or sugar instead of oxygen for respiration. They then refuse to die and keep multiplying. The secret of the power of glutathione may be the sulfur chemical. Here a quote from Terry Walls, MD. Glutathione is the most important molecule in your body that you have ever heard of. Its benefits are increased energy, stronger immune system, greater mental focus and clarity, less muscle and joint discomfort, and improved athletic performance. Dr. Mark Hyman calls glutathione the mother of all antioxidants and says that he has found glutathione deficiency to be common in virtually all the serious ill patients he has treated. Now a few words on Ayurveda. Based on the principles of Ayurveda, Parkinson's disease develops due to the aggravation of Vata dosha in the brain nerves. This leads to a drying of nerves, which effects including shaking of hands and fingers, stiffness in muscles, and inability to turn at once. The cornerstone of Ayurvedic and yogic healing teaches us to live in harmony with one's constitution on a physical, psychological, and spiritual level. A person who has or develops a sattvic mind does not experience the disease or brings rapid healing respectively. Hence, the effectiveness of Ayurveda goes beyond the pharmacological effects of herbs, but incorporates behavioral and ultimately the internal and subtle energies of one's being. End of quote. Maybe here 2 plants from Ayurveda which are interesting in terms of Parkinson. For example, the herb Brahmi, or known Bacopa. According to University of Maryland Medical Center, Brahmi may improve circulation to the brain and even protect brain cells. Other studies by Pennsylvania State University College of Medicine applied Brahmi seed powder to rodent models of Parkinson's. The results showed promise in conquering the disease and protecting the brain from damage. And another Ayurvedic herb is Mucunia pruriens. As a dopamine supplement, commonly known, it's called velvet bean. Naturally contains up to 5% of L-dopa or levodopa. L-dopa supplements is the same biochemical that is made in humans from the amino acid L-tyrosine and is then synthesized into dopamine. Powdered mucunia seeds have long been used in Indian traditional medicine as support in the treatment of various illnesses, including Parkinson's. Recently, studies utilizing mucunia supplements have shown promising results not just for Parkinson's, but for other conditions related to dopamine deficiency, including depression and psychological stress. To conclude this chapter on aromatherapy and Parkinson's, we have seen that the means in order to prevent any type of a mentally unbalanced state or cerebral nervous disease, it is of particular importance to entertain, through deep cooperation with nature, a healthy mind and a healthy body. Mental, emotional inner harmony, supported, for example, by meditation, a healthy diet, energy awareness, social harmony, etc., are all precious contributions for this. Our human society needs new forms of education in order to put the emphasis on disease prevention, rather than spending endless and infinite amounts of money to manage disease from the wrong angle of fighting against the imbalance, instead of pacifying and harmonizing it with the support of Mother Nature's countless gifts of health-giving means. Unfortunately, today's medical system has forgotten the ancient approaches to health via a holistic understanding, with the result of creating often more side effects than real curing. The monomolecular approach of modern allopathic medicine, contrary to the new holistic science of natural medicine including aromatherapy, has thoroughly neglected the incredible polyvalent consciousness and practice of nature, where the formula of many in one and one in many have since ever constituted the right and most powerful access to health on all levels, be it mental, emotional, or spiritual. Let us all join therefore together for helping to create a new era of medicine where all aspects of us humans come together and where the so-called incurable diseases such as Parkinson's and so many others become nearly forgotten plagues of the past.